let the record show. One, my beautiful background, and two, it is 8:36 in the morning and I am in full glam, ready to go, because I have been meaning to film this video for literally like 2 weeks now. I asked you guys on Twitter if you would be interested in seeing my Taylor Swift Reputation tour look that I was lucky enough to have Taylor comment on and compliment. I decided I'm gonna show you guys. So I'm actually wearing this look to work, which is a little over the top, but I wanted to film it. So I woke up early this morning to film it for you guys for today's video. This is a really simple look, to me at least. I think it's really obtainable, it's really approachable, it's very easy to do. So if you're not really a makeup girl, but you wanna do something fun for your tour date or for a night out or whatever, I think this is really easy and achievable. I just used one eyeshadow palette plus one single shadow, but get over that, an eyeshadow type topper and some liner and some mascara, and got this look. And like I said, I was lucky enough to meet Taylor, as you saw here, which is amazing, and she complimented my eyebrows and my eyeshadow, and she said she loved them both. So I just couldn't not film this video for you guys and show you exactly what I did. So if you want to hear full stories about how I met Taylor and see my whole tour vlog where I wear this look originally, be sure to go and click on those videos. I will link them up in the top corner somewhere. I can't remember which corner it is, but they'll be up there for you to watch. But for this, we're just gonna jump into this eye look. It's super simple, really approachable, and I hope you guys enjoy it. So let's jump into the video. And about an hour ago, me that is very tired and not really awake during half the video. Well, welcome to another episode of Parker Gets Ready. Way too early in the morning so she can film a video. Today, as you know, as I said in the intro, I'm gonna be doing my Taylor look. So what I went ahead and did was started out with all of my foundation and base on, just to save time, honestly, because this would be a super long video if not. And I really didn't do anything super different than what I always do. So the foundation that I have on today, which is actually a different foundation because I'm going to work and I didn't want something too terribly heavy, is the Clinique Longwear foundation. And then I have on a Tarte blush and exposed, and then Champagne Pop as a highlight, my NARS Laguna bronzer as my bronzer. That is all done. We're gonna skip that. The two things, obviously, that Taylor commented on the most were my eyeshadow and my eyebrows. So I thought I would show you how I did both of those things. The first thing I'm gonna do is my eyebrows. So I use the Anastasia Brow Powder Duo in dark brown. I mostly go into the darker brown color because, as you can tell, I have pretty dark brows. So I haven't had my eyebrows waxed in a few weeks, so they're a little unruly, but I'm just gonna show you how I fill them in. It's really super simple. I'm actually gonna zoom you guys in. Oh, hello. We're very nice and tight right now. Okay, so how I fill my brows in is really super simple. I go into the darker color mostly, and I will kind of mix in some of the lighter color, but mostly I stick with the darker color just because I prefer my brows to be darker rather than lighter. So I'm just gonna fill these in, and I'm gonna try to stay in frame. I have a mirror so I can see what I'm doing. And I'm lucky to have decently full brows, so I don't really need to do a lot of like constructing of my brows. Like I don't need to like actually draw them on. But this is just honestly a really simple brow routine. So basically, here we go, kind of using the viewfinder. And I will like go through and kind of foolie them just to keep it nice and easy to put the powder through. And I literally just like kind of fill in my tail. Like I wish I could tell you that I had this like big crazy brow routine, but I just happen to have very defined brows. That's just kind of how I do it. And I will try to keep the lines crisp. Honestly, it rarely ever happens, but you can see there's a pretty significant difference. And then towards the front, what I'll do is I'll grab a little bit more of the lighter shade and mix it in with the darker shade. And then I tend to, I'm gonna try to do this with my mirror, not in shot, is I will place this like kind of completely vertical and kind of block the front of my brow, and then fill in anywhere I feel like needs to have some color. We'll just try to keep the line sharp. But as you can see, I feel like this is a little bit like bulbous almost. So what I'll do is I'll take my pinky and I'll kind of just like push it up into my brow, and it kind of like blurs that a little bit, kind of blends it a little bit, and just keeps it from being too much of a like brow. But I mean, yeah, that's kind of my brow routine. Like that's it. Like I don't ever do any kind of concealer or anything just because I find it to be tedious on a day-to-day basis. I might do it if I feel ultra fancy, but for the most part, that's pretty much it. Now I'm gonna do the other brow off camera and I'll be right back. Okay, we had a little bit of an eyebrow debacle there, but I think I got there. They're not even by any means, but they are sisters. Not twins. Moving on to the makeup look we have all been waiting for. I'm gonna zoom you in a little bit more. So for this eye look, there are 3 like essential things you're gonna need. It is a neutral kind of taupey brown base for your shadow, so just a taupey brown shade, and then a kind of a little bit warmer but still kind of cool toned transition shade, and then a very cool toned dark shade. And then of course you're going to need the eye topper and the black liner. So this is a smokier look, but again, it's pretty wearable. Like you don't necessarily only need to wear this on a night out. I am gonna be wearing it to work today. It's typically a little bit heavier than what I would normally wear to work, but I really wanted to show you guys how I did it, and it's pretty easy. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a bigger, fluffier shader brush, and I'm gonna go all over the lid. And the color I'm using for this is in this Urban Decay palette I made called Naked. This is a great shade because it is really straight up neutral. Like it's not cool toned, it's not warm toned, and for this look we are definitely going for a more cool tone look. So what I'm gonna do, okay, so now we are a little bit closer and you can see what I'm doing. I'm just swirling my brush into that really kind of neutral base shade. So it's not cool toned, it's not warm toned, but we are going for more of a cool tone look today. So I definitely want to keep the base of my eye. I want it to be just a little bit kind of an ashier color versus like a warm color. So that's why I'm going for this color Naked by Urban Decay. You don't need this specific color or any of the specific colors that I'm using today, but this is what I'm using. And I'm taking that all over my lid and a little bit up into the crease just to help a little bit with transition. Now this is gonna be a super simple look. We're only using like 3 or 4 colors, so this should not be hopefully too intimidating for people who don't normally wear makeup. So that is the, and focus. And because I have more hooded eyes, meaning that my eye space here isn't very big, I do like to take my creases up a little bit higher just so you can like actually see the color that I'm putting on my eyes. So that's why I've brought this one up kind of past the crease. Then the next palette I'm gonna be going into is the Kat Von D Shade and Light eyeshadow palette. Again, you do not need this specific palette, but I'm gonna be showing you the colors that I am gonna be using. I'm gonna be going in with this shade right here as my crease color. Probably mix it in a little tiny bit with this one just to darken it up a little bit. And then we are gonna go in with this one in the outer corner to really make it cool toned and smoky. So I'm gonna start out with these 2 in the crease. So I'm gonna take more of that lighter shade. This one is still neutral, but it is a little bit warmer. But by mixing it in with just a tiny bit of this one, I feel like it kind of cools it down just a little bit. And then, like I said, I'm gonna be putting that in the crease of my eye. So I'm gonna kind of lean my head back a little bit and with a light hand, go in and work that into the crease. You can see it's already making it a little bit more cool toned, a little bit more smoky, but still pretty neutral and wearable. We're gonna do full on blending with a blending brush in a second. This is just me placing down the color. So I am taking it sort of farther in this direction because what I really wanna do, especially with the liner, is pull it out this way. So by coming in a little bit closer over here, we can kind of create that illusion. And I'll do this with the darker outer color as well, of making this a more pointed look rather than a rounded look. And that's just generally how I prefer to wear my makeup anyway, but especially for this kind of look, I really wanted to kind of cat eye it a little bit more. So see, pretty basic, a little bit of fallout, so just kind of dust that away. And I'm gonna do the same thing on the other eye. Okay, so now I'm just gonna take a fluffy, clean blender, get that to focus. Yep, fluffy, clean blender. And I'm just gonna kind of buff out some of these harsher edges, just so they look nice and smooth and there's no harsh lines. But you don't wanna totally blend it away, so we get nice and blended. I'm going back in with that same crease brush, and I'm going to then go in this kind of more smoky section. I'm gonna go into this shade here, and we're gonna put this in the outer like V of the eye. This is also extremely pigmented, depends on your shadow, but be pretty careful and have a light hand. So what I'm gonna do is start building that up in the outer corner. And I feel like this is what really starts to make things look really smoky and kind of nighttime. So you wanna have a really, really light hand. I'm kind of working that, so you can see in this section here, and then pulling it up a little bit into the crease. Try to keep it in focus, sorry. So I'm gonna bring that up into the crease just a little bit. And on this outer corner, you can see I'm trying to keep a little bit of a sharper line here, kind of to, again, pull that cat eye up and out. This is not, I think, entirely that super important, but I do like to try to keep that line as sharp as I can. I am gonna connect it on the bottom so it will be a little bit sharper because I'll use a smaller brush. But for the most part, you can see kind of the difference in the level of smokiness. Adding this outer corner here really kind of makes it cooler toned and a little bit more cat-eyed than over here. So I'm gonna go do this on the other side as well. I don't know if you can see on camera. I'm gonna show you kind of what we did by putting down that other color first and a little bit higher, is that it's blending this out just a little bit. So it's not such a harsh like black and or like dark gray here, but you can see there's a darker gray here and then it's kind of a little bit lighter of a color around the edges, so it doesn't make it so harsh. You can kind of see the same thing over here, where it's got a little bit of that orangey tone popping out from behind the gray, and then it's keeping this from looking too terribly sharp. So this is an important one for us to use the blending brush for. Sometimes you get this kind of a harsh line here. You wanna kind of buff that out as best you can and really get those edges here. So I'm really going in, buffing those out, really just wanting to get a smooth transition from that color to my eye. Alrighty, so that's kind of the basis of the eye look done. If you lose any of your lighter base, that's okay. I am gonna go back and kind of tap in. I'm not gonna pull the other color out, but with this color here, which is a little bit of a like taupey gray, and kind of just add that a little bit back in to the lid, since we might have blended a little bit of that away, and I still want a little bit of brightness in that area. So yeah, you can kind of blend with your finger too. Don't be afraid to get in there. Okay, so I'm also going to take these colors. I'm gonna use what I used in my crease, this color here, and I'm gonna use a pencil brush and I'm gonna run it along my lower lash line, and then I'm gonna go in with that darker color in the outer corner and kind of make sure everything matches up right. I always use my crease color just because I feel like it's a natural transition and you get a little bit of definition. So I'm just running that along my lower lash line. Nothing too heavy. Don't necessarily want to go raccoon on this, though you totally could and it would still be fierce, but I want to keep it a little bit lighter. So you can see how this is connecting. This color is going into this color coming around, and in order to kind of just deepen it up a little bit more and again elongate that kind of cat eye, I'm gonna take that darker shade we used on the outer corner and I'm just gonna pop that on that outer corner of the eye, blend it with my finger and kind of blend it up into this so that we have a really nice sharp kind of line there, but blending it, it just looks really cohesive. So I'm not bringing that all the way in, I'm keeping the inside clear and just doing that. So you can see a little bit of the difference of how this one looks really top heavy and then this one looks a little bit more fold out. So I'm gonna go in and do the same thing over here. I always kind of blend it with my finger really gently. And as you can see, we now have a more cohesive eye look. So now, the most important and the most fun part, we have our eyeshadow glitter topper. Now this one particularly is Ritz from Colourpop and Loreal, and this is, see if it'll focus, a true eye topper. It does have a base in there, as you can see, but I don't see that. It's really just like a clear and like silvery glitter. So it's really beautiful. You really could find these anywhere. Just a glittery eyeshadow will do the best. Kind of match the base to that base color that we used before, that lid color, and you should be fine. But this is literally so beautiful and it's super easy. So all I'm gonna do is take my middle finger and kind of rub it in there, and you'll see it's decently subtle on my finger, but then if you go in and you just kind of stamp it all over, it just becomes this really beautiful glitter. So I'm concentrating it mainly on my lid, actual lid, but I'm not really being that picky about it. So I'm gonna go in with a little bit more, and I'm just gonna kind of let this be what it is. It's a little bit messy, but that's okay because it's a little bit smoky. I'm not going crazy, especially since I'm going to work today. I'm not flipping you off, I swear. And I'm literally just tapping that. Now, if you wanted to get ultra fancy, you definitely could use like a solid glitter thing, like a Stila Glitter and Glow liquid eyeshadow. That's gonna give you a much more intense look, but I really love just going in with my finger. You could put a little glitter glue down if you felt like you needed it. I didn't at Taylor and it stayed on just fine. And I just really think it's fun. And you can also take a little bit and kind of stamp it in the inner corner, just as a little fun kind of glittery inside corner highlight. And that's it for the eyeshadow. Now all I'm gonna do is wing my liner off camera because I can never get it on camera, first of all, and then I will show you the finished look. Okay, so this is actually the final look. I realized that I almost didn't film the end of this. I was just like finishing up getting ready and then realized I didn't film an outro. So this is the finished look. Let me zoom you in a little bit. So this is the final look. So what I did was I went in and I added some winged liner from Kat Von D. This is Kat Von D Tattoo Liner, and I brought it in a little bit farther in this inner corner than I normally do because again, I love that really like smoky cat eye effect. So brought that in a little bit closer there. Added some black to my waterline. This is just a NYX Waterproof liner pencil. And then I added my mascara, which is the Voluminous Superstar X-Fiber mascara. It is my favorite. And that is the finished eye look. So let me zoom you out. So this is the finished look. It's definitely smokier. It's definitely heavier than what I wear on a day-to-day basis, but I feel like it's really pretty, really sparkly, and best part of all, it's Taylor Swift approved, which at this channel we all love. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. All of the products I used will be linked and listed down below, so if you want to get your hands on them, hopefully you still can. If not, I'll try to put alternatives or something down there, but this is the full look. So if you want to hear all about the story of how I met Taylor and all that stuff, I have other videos on that, so be sure to click up in that corner and watch those videos. But thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed it. My name is Parker, this is Stories in the Dust, and I really hope you stick around a while. Bye guys.